So, oh, that's right. I got my boobies rock uh, chess piece.
That's right. So yeah, the first thing I want to say on this stream is, oh my god, we are so excited for this crazy storm, or this crazy winter weather we're going to get tomorrow. And Monday, apparently.
I think you're more excited about it than I am.
Yeah. Well, we're prepared. I literally spent 4 hours today, cleared out our second garage. Last weekend I did the one-car garage, and so I had that already completely cleared out. And so yet today I went through, got everything cleared out, moved all the bikes and outdoor stuff to the one car.
Did you disconnect all your hoses?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And we already got our irrigation blown out. We had a guy come over with an air compressor and get that all cleaned out, so no frozen pipes. Good. We've done our research, and our neighbor has been pretty helpful. And like, whenever there's been cold, he comes over and he's like, "Hey, I know you guys are from Phoenix," and just make sure that we're disconnecting our hoses. And he's a good guy.
Yeah, I think he was there when I.
Yeah, he randomly showed up, and that was funny. Hey, Rosinka. And yes, it was Matt's birthday last Sunday.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
And
I am 28 years old.
Yes. 28 forever. And thank you, Rosinka, for another sub month. Oh my god, 40 months.
Holy
Hot
shit.
damn. I don't feel like I deserve that.
It's a long ass time.
But I thank you for that anyways. I won't make any promises about getting back to a more frequent stream schedule, but you know, when life calms down, hopefully eventually I will. I've kind of wanted to start streaming some Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild because I've been playing that so much, and man, that game is just, I love that game. I love it to death.
Weren't they coming out with a new expansion for that?
They're coming out with a whole new game. It's called Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. It's not a proper Zelda game. It's more of a Dynasty Warriors type game. Like the folks that made Dynasty Warriors are making that type of game, but with Zelda characters.
Oh, interesting.
And they're having it take place 100 years before Breath of the Wild, so it covers the whole timeline of events that lead to all the champions being killed and Link getting mortally wounded and going into the Shrine of Resurrection and all of that.
Dynasty Warriors was a fun game.
Yeah, I've never played that one, but I've played games like it.
It's pretty fun. It's a hack and slash.
Anyone interested in a nursing home Among Us game? I'm actually not familiar with what Among Us is.
Ooh, I am. I played a lot of it.
I've heard a lot about it, but I can't say that I have any idea what type of game it is.
So it's an indie game. Basically, these two guys made it a long time ago. They completely forgot about it, and then overnight it just became... At least that's what I've been told the story is. Don't quote me on that. So anyways, there's a couple different maps, and usually you play with 10 people is the limit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, whoever creates the game can obviously adjust the settings of the match, right? But the idea is that you have... that you have a group of imposters, too. So in a 10-man game, it's 2 imposters.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, this fucking netherite sword is fucking bomb.
Yeah.
You have 2 imposters, and the imposter's job is to kill all of the crewmates. Now, when you start the match, nobody knows who the imposters are, and nobody knows who the crewmates are except for you. And during the game, nobody's allowed to talk. Those are the general rules is, you keep quiet. So as a crewmate, you go throughout the level and you complete tasks. Like some of them are like basic wiring. Some are like, move the cursor over these things. It's just pretty simple, mundane tasks.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the 2 imposters are killing the crewmates. And depending on the game, you can have like a short kill timer cooldown, or like usually it's about 30 seconds. And the imposters are allowed to use vents to travel quickly between the level.
Okay.
So the imposters can move very quickly, and basically use a kill action that's a one hit death. Right? There's no way to protect you from the imposters.
Hmm.
When a crewmate finds a dead body, he can report the dead body, and it starts what's called an emergency. Oh, hang on, hold on, be right back.
Okay. It's like Clue in space, but 1 to 2 people are the killer. Gotcha. I need to recap what I did last time. I'm pretty sure last time I kicked ass and I got a bunch of, I think I upgraded a bunch of my stuff. Yeah, Silk Touch there. Silk Touch. It's Fortune.
Sorry about that. Cat was coughing up a fur ball.
Oh, that's okay. Gotta
Dude,
love.
I can one shot these Endermen with a sword.
Nice. Do we want to head to the Nether and try to work on more ancient debris to start? Maybe when you're done with that. Because I got all my pickaxes updated. I'm ready for more if that's what you're in the mood for.
Sure, whatever.
Okay.
So when you call an emergency meeting, that's when everybody's allowed to talk. And the idea is that the imposters will fabricate a story about where they are, what they were doing, to prove their innocence. So at the end of the emergency meeting, everybody casts a vote. Either you decide to pass on the vote, or you vote to kick someone out. If they have, so whichever vote has the highest number, so let's say everyone votes for me, compared to the amount of people who abstain from voting, I would get kicked off.
Interesting.
There are game settings where you can see if the person you kicked off was the imposter, or you can set it so that you don't know. So the imposter can just, when it's his turn to, during the emergency meeting, he could say, "Oh, I saw Seth. He was the one who killed him," and Seth would be like, "No, it wasn't me." And it's like, "No." So sometimes, so it's a game about, it's basically you have to be like a very cautious killer and a really good liar.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting dynamic where you have to have a fabricated story about where you are, what you're doing, and make sure nobody else saw you kill these other players. And the idea is once there's one crewmate left, you automatically win because there's no way they can possibly win. Because the throughout the whole thing, like the imposters, they can cause like the lights to go out, which means that everybody's vision is like reduced to like minimal, so you can't see shit going on around you. They can start a nuclear reactor meltdown, which requires two-person authentication. So 2 people have to be standing there like with their mouses clicked on the handprint scanner, to disable the reactor from going off.
Interesting. Are there any?
Yeah.
Is there any NPC, or is this totally player versus player type of?
Player versus player, and it's 100% like I have no idea who's innocent, and I have no idea who's the bad guy. Now there's certain like actions you can do, like tasks to complete, that would sort of prove that you're not an imposter, but you got to be really suspect of everyone, like that you see doing stuff. So there's like this word they use instead of saying suspect, they say you're acting sus, S-U-S.
So man, you know what? I've been seeing that term being used, and I'm like, what? Why is everyone saying sus all of a sudden? Is that short for suspect? Like,
yeah, it is.
I can't keep up with lingo anymore.
So I had never heard that until I played my first match with Ben and his friends, because there's 12 to 15 people that play, and they they're like, "Oh, he was acting kind of sus," and it's like, "Well, I was doing this," and it's like, "What were you doing before that?" And it's like, "Oh, I was doing this." Like, "Yeah, he's acting pretty fucking sus. We should kick him." It's like, you motherfuckers, you don't know what you're doing. So it's actually quite a bit of fun. But you really need a good amount of people to play a good match, because like if you're only playing with like 4 or 5 people, like you could set it so you play with one imposter, it would just be over pretty fast.
Yeah.
And most of the pug groups, like, people will just quit because they're not the imposter. They don't want to play as a crewmate.
And Ben has, like, when you play with Ben, he's got a fair number of people.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what I've been doing these last couple weeks. Is we've been playing random games, everything from Fall Guys to Last of Us to the big one is Phasmophobia, which is
Wait, did you
fucking.
say The Last of Us?
I'm sorry, Among Us.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like,
Among Us.
I haven't played The Last of Us multiplayer, but I actually heard it was pretty good.
No, Among Us, Fall Guys, Phasmophobia is fucking phenomenal. That game, like, one dude created the game, absolutely fucking terrifying, so good. So if there's one game I would recommend if you want to lose sleep over, it's that one. But it's a ton of fucking fun, and that one's 4 player, up to 4 players. I mean, you can play with as little as one.
Well, it's good to get an update on what's happening in the world of video games. I just live in my own little bubble where I play Minecraft and Zelda, and I have been playing a lot of Super Mario 3D All Stars.
Nice.
Super Mario 64. Actually, I was playing that for the last hour leading up to the stream on Jolly Roger Bay. I can't believe I still to this day remember like where everything is and all the little secrets, and
No shit.
it's crazy. Like, I mean, that's me and you met over that game, and that was 24 years ago now. Yeah, literally 24 years. Because I mean, I think that came out September 29th, 1996.
Jesus.
And yeah, I think we were in Mr. Freed's math class, like right in that same time frame.
It wasn't math; it was history. Mr. Free did a history class because we had to do the presentation at the end with a book.
I thought I had him for math and history. Oh wait, maybe I had some. Sick man, he's the only teacher I actually remember. I mean,
Yep.
that's shit so long ago now.
Yeah, he used to lean against the whiteboard and get chalk all over his butt.
Yeah. Yeah, I've realized, like, I heard a couple names brought up at some point, like people from high school, and I literally have no idea who they are. They've left my memory banks entirely.
Yeah.
It's just been so long. So before I head over, the last time I played Minecraft, I played solo, and I repaired all my gear, and I came back to my base, did a bunch of farming, and I got a ton of mending books and like useful things. Do you need any mending?
I think so. I could probably use a couple.
Okay. Well, before I start heading over there, let me just check and make sure. I think I have them in my ender chest. Well, let me just check. It was actually kind of nice to take a break and like come over here. I bred a bunch of bees. I even went over to your area and bred the bees over there, so you'll get more bees.
Oh, nice. Where's my fucking diamond helmet? There it is. Kevin.
Oh, Russ, I didn't know you had a D&D group. I have always wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, but I have never known enough people to actually be able to play a game, and I don't know how to play the game.
Connie recently just did a group with some people, a D&D group.
It looks fun, man. Like, it looks like a good, fun time.
I love the change that they made with getting experience to repair your gear. Such a needed change.
Wait, in Dungeons and Dragons?
No, in Minecraft.
Oh. Yeah. All right, so I've got 3 mending books here.
Okay. I'm heading back, so everything's repaired. I think I took some of your pickaxes because I have Panty dropper, that's probably mine. I have
Well, keep them. Keep them. I have all the pickaxes I need.
dick pick, which is mine.
Yeah, you gave me Pig Bick, and
Right.
I have it equipped right now because it's the most legendary pickaxe.
Let's see. Do you need silk touch for the shulker shells, or does it matter?
No, you don't. You only need Silk Touch for the Ender chest. Alright, well, let me see here. Alright, let me just take a quick trip up to my villagers. I mean, yes, I have 3 mending books. Actually, no, I'm just going to head over. I'm going to head over to Sky Island.
Okay, I'm already done, so I'm heading back to Sky Island. But yeah, Among Us, awesome game. It's a lot of fun. It's best if you have a full group. I hear pugs are kind of shitty. But if you can get 10 solid players to play, like, it's a
Yeah.
great way to ruin friendships.
Oh, lovely.
I mean that facetiously. I mean,
I
it's
know.
like,
I know.
you know. And then if you die, you're not allowed to say anything. Like, you have to remain quiet.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you definitely are like, Brasinka was acting sus. She was doing this, that, and the other. She's like, no, I was doing this. And it's like, well, that's over by this. So that's where the body was. And it's like, well, I didn't see the body. And it's like, well, I still don't trust you. I'm kicking you out. And then it's up to
Yeah.
everyone else whether or not they believe that person. But that person could, the person trying to get Brasinka kicked out or whoever could be the imposter. He could just be playing like, galaxy level, mindfuck games to try to get her kicked out because that's one less crewmate.
Right.
So
Well,
it's pretty
awesome.
fun.
Well, I'll tell you what I have been really kind of, I don't want to say that I'm going to go start playing any of these because we'll just see what happens. It's just become a lot easier to play Nintendo games because, the kids enjoy it, and, I find myself with very little just time by myself. It's usually I'm doing something with the kids or with the wife, or I'm working, or I'm getting shit done around the house.
You guys
So
should
it's
play Fall Guys. That's totally that's a
yeah,
great.
yeah, that looks fun. Well, so yeah, what Isla had asked me to do is she said that she wanted me to start a new Breath of the Wild file and play it with her and Nolan watching because she wanted Nolan to when I originally played Breath of the Wild back in 2017. Isla watched the entire thing with me. Like every time I played, she would sit down and watch, and she loved it. And I gotta say, going back and playing it. So I'm actually playing 2 files right now. I started this new file where I'm playing, and the kids are both watching, and I've also started booting up my original save file, and I'm working to 100% it. I'm gonna get every Korok, every single thing in the game. I've already gotten all the shrines, but yeah, going back, that is just a masterpiece in open world game design. I mean, I had forgotten just how incredible it is. Just the fact that you can climb everything, that every single item you pick up has 2 or 3 different uses. Just the sense of discovery, all of it's been incredible. And so it's kind of gotten me in the mood to go back and get into some other open world games. Open world games have always been the type of game that pulls me in more than anything else. Obviously Minecraft is the ultimate open world game, and that's why I'm still playing it to this day. But I'm thinking I might, I think I told you I got Red Dead Redemption on the Xbox One X. I'm thinking I might go ahead and start over because I probably played 15, 20 hours of it, but it's been so long. I kind of want to start over and kind of try to stick with it consistently. And I don't know, maybe Isla can watch that one with me. I think she's old enough that.
Play Cyberpunk with me.
Is Cyberpunk an open world game?
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be humongous.
The new one with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
cool.
Supposed to be. So as far as size, as in width, it's not. It's almost as big as Witcher 3, but it's vertical because you have skyscrapers. so it actually makes it like 3 or 4 times the size of
See,
Witcher.
and I never played The Witcher 3 either.
Oh God, such a good game.
And what's up, CK
So
Seems? I was talking about Zelda Breath of the Wild, but anyway, we're just talking about open world games in general. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
yeah, so it's an open world game. You can have, so imagine a crossover between Grand Theft Auto and
Love Grand Theft Auto. I have
and
100%ed every Grand Theft Auto since 3.
okay. So imagine Grand Theft Auto and a Witcher crossover.
I've never played The Witcher, so I can't imagine that.
Okay.
I can imagine what The Witcher might be like.
It's an RPG. It's a action RPG. Um, where the choices you make impact the story, but it's yeah, you know how it has the text. Imagine like a, let's see here. You know how you can choose the path of the discussion.
Dialogue
So
trees.
yeah, so it's got a lot of dialogue trees, but you use like guns and stuff rather than swords. Um, I was watching the making of it that they just recently put out. There's a couple different classes in Cyberpunk. So there's like the superstars where they're like, musicians, or the multimillionaire elite class of like popular people. There's the corporate people who are like the super rich corporate megalomaniacs, I guess you could say. Then there's the why is there a fucking Enderman up here, dude? Fuck off. There's the there's like I said, there's like four classes in Cyberpunk, but because they live in a reality where they can augment their bodies.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
there's a couple different classes. So you can be like a hacker. You can be like a military spec where you have like increased armor protection, and
Yeah.
God, you gotta watch some videos on it. But apparently, like
Yeah.
they actually went and recorded a bunch of the sounds from a bunch of different vehicles, including like motorcycles. So every different vehicle has like a different interior dash, has like a different feel and handling. And your character is 100% customizable because of cyber augments. So like you can actually find like other people's body parts and use them to like augment your player.
Kind of
Like
kind of like the old Sega Genesis game, Cyborg Justice.
Yeah. Like you should see the amount of work that's
that's
going into it. Like it just looks so fucking good. The colors,
I've seen some screenshots of it, and I'm just so out of the loop. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, if it's an open world game and you said it's multiplayer,
it is. Yeah, it's massive multiplayer. It's like
oh,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
I thought it
Yeah.
was like a single player type of thing.
No. It's an MMO.
Well, sweet. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and CK Seam says that they've been playing Breath of the Wild as well.
Nice. Oh,
Love that Breath of the Wild love. And they also say they've got Cyberpunk pre-ordered. Not watching anything on it on purpose.
oh, I will. I try not to spoil anything for you, but yeah, everything from like the vehicles, the style, to the music, to the character customization, to the outfits you wear, the clothing, all impacts story dialogue and the look of your character.
You want to go sleep real quick so we don't get phantomed again?
Sure. but it looks really, really good.
Have you played Red Dead Redemption?
Yep,
How'd you like that one?
it was phenomenal.
Awesome. And you said you really like The Witcher 3 as well?
Yes, it's a
Yeah.
lot like Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that probably the couple games on the top of my list would be. Well, I mean, I've always loved Rockstar games. Like when it comes to open world games, they just the way they do open world games really, really, really resonates with me. And then Bethesda is the other one. I mean, I've played.
So
I never played Fallout 4, but I played Fallout 3, Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion, and then Skyrim. And I mean, yeah, I love Rockstar, love Bethesda, and now that Nintendo did Breath of the Wild, if they do any more open world games like that, like that's my jam. Love that shit.
Yeah, I would highly recommend you look at some of the stuff for Cyberpunk because it looks really good. CD Projekt Red does awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Witcher was awesome. It wasn't turn-based, it was like a live action Monster Slayer style.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, and the amount of time, money, and like, I mean, they announced it 5 years ago, that they were going to be putting this game together. That's how long they've been working on it.
And is it going to be next gen only, or are they doing like
No.
PS4 and PS5?
I actually don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
I know it is for the computer. I'm probably going to do computer. Why are you... Oh. Holy fucking diamond, Batman.
Rosinka says she's been kind of missing WoW as of late. Yeah, if I had more time, I think I would too.
A bunch of Ben's friends have been playing the WoW because they're getting ready for the next expansion, the Shadowlands or some garbage.
Yeah. For classic WoW or for the new WoW?
No, new WoW.
Like normal
apparently,
WoW.
Yeah, because apparently Sylvanas turned against the Horde.
Right.
Killed the new Lich King.
God, they fucked her character up, man.
Yeah.
What? Like I just remember reading some articles on like what they were having her do, and it just I don't know. I feel like they took a crap on her character.
So.
CK says just Googled, but Google says if you buy it on PS4, you get a free upgrade for it on PS5. Dude. So what's the latest? Yeah, totally out of the loop on the new consoles. Have they done? Is there a spec comparison out there between Xbox Xbox Series X and PS5? Is the Xbox more powerful?
I think they're pretty equivalent from what I understand. I could be wrong in that, but
not that necessarily matters because speaking of open world games, one of the other ones I really wanted to get into in a long list of games that I really want to play is the Spider-Man game that came out on the PS4. Mm-hmm. What was that one? Was it just called Spider-Man or was it Spider-Man?
I don't remember, but I know that they're coming out with a brand new one for the release of the PS.
Right, the Miles Morales one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. After seeing Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I am all for that incarnation of Spider-Man.
Such a good movie.
It really was. Like, oh my god. I just remember when I left the theater, I'm like, holy fucking shit, this might be like in my top 10 best movies I've ever seen, and it's like a silly animated Spider-Man movie.
Oh, it's so good though.
I mean, it's rare that you see every element of a movie come together so well. Like the music, the animation style, the story.
Yep. Just
everything about it was incredible. I want to go watch that right now, actually. And the guys that made that, they made the Lego Movie and
oh no shit. Wow. Same
yeah, Phil Lord and
producers, okay.
And then, but before Lego Movie, I don't know if you had ever seen this movie. This is one I've always liked. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. They made that one too.
A good movie.
And yeah, really good. Like I thought before I ever saw Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, I thought like, oh, this looks stupid. But every time I watch it, I'm like, man, this is like they really nailed that line between like they made a kids movie, but there's this like rapid fire slapstick humor, and Bill Hader is just such a good voice actor that like he did such a great job with what's his, I forget his name in the movie.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember. Do you have any scaffolding on you?
I don't know. And CK has not seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And yes, you do need to watch it. It is a must-watch. It's the best Spider-Man movie ever made. I mean, I love Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2. I
did not like Tobey Maguire.
Really?
Not at all.
Huh.
I think he did a terrible job.
I think 1 and 2 were really good. I mean, but those were pre-Marvel, like, I don't know. I thought it was good. And I guess there's rumors that the new Spider-Man, the new Tom Holland Spider-Man is going to bring back all the other Spider-Men, like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to be in it. I don't know if you've heard any of that.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, I was a big fan of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, at least 1 and 2. And I like the Tom Holland ones, but I don't know. Like I always hear everyone gushing about how amazing the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies are, and they're good. Like I enjoy them, but I don't feel like they're as good as people say they are. The Homecoming and Far From Home.
I think they were some of the best Spider-Man. I think Tom Holland was probably one of the best Spider-Man.
But there's not enough. I guess my problem is I felt like there wasn't enough Spider-Man being Spider-Man. Like there was a lot of stuff happening around it, like him living his everyday life. And that's not really as much what I want to see. I want to see him swinging around the city, beating up bad guys. And like, yeah, of course that happens. And I think Far From Home I felt like was a little better because some of the like psychedelic style visuals were really, really cool. Like, I don't know, any movie that puts some psychedelic shit in front of me, sign me up, man. I love that stuff. Alright, I'm just kind of dicking around over here, just breaking down all these ores. And I saw a picture of or a screenshot of Tom Holland. He's going to be playing Nathan Drake in the Uncharted movie.
Yeah, I saw that. He looks really good.
Did you play any of the Uncharted games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played all 4 of them. Love those games. But I only played them recently. I got the Uncharted collection on PS4 when they released all of that.
Yeah.
And really enjoyed all of those. I 100%ed 1, 2, and 3. I really like Naughty Dog. Speaking of like developers, I've enjoyed all of the Naughty Dog games. I still have not played The Last of Us Part 2, but the first Last of Us is like a fucking masterpiece. That ending to the original Last of Us was just one of the best video game endings I've ever fucking seen.
Yep, that one looks good. I think Tom Holland as Spider-Man, because he's just got that innocent look about him, that boyish.
Yeah. He's a good Spider-Man. He definitely, like, my baseline for Spider-Man is the 90s Spider-Man cartoon that was the Saturday morning cartoons on Fox.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched those too, but there was the Uncanny X-Men and there was Spider-Man. Yep. And, like, that's what Spider-Man was to me. And I just remember some of those episodes so vividly, like, you know, the whole Venom storyline. And, like, it was just so well done. And I definitely agree that Tom Holland, like, when I thinking about, like, what Spider-Man should be, he nails that character.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yep. He nails it better than Tobey Maguire, I will agree. But I feel like the Tobey Maguire... those 2 Spider-Man movies were just really, really good movies.
Yeah, so definitely, I highly recommend you check out the trailer or some of the making of and the hype behind Cyberpunk. It is
Okay,
definitely not a kids game, not at all. I will
gotcha.
definitely say that much. Yeah,
Well, I know Red Dead Redemption isn't either, but Isla is getting to that age where,
not like this.
yeah, Isla's getting to that age where I can, we've watched some PG-13 and rated R movies, and
Yeah,
she's a
this is.
smart kid. She knows what's appropriate and what's not, and we make sure to explain stuff to her if she doesn't like understand.
There's a lot of nudity in this one and gore, because like everything from like your appendages to your genitals, like it's all customizable and part of the game.
So you can customize your wiener.
Yeah,
Why? What value does that bring?
it's part of they explained it, and it actually was a pretty good post.
So you can get
Um,
you can have a RoboCock.
yeah.
You just say that so nonchalantly. What?
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like if you think about like the future of things, like people are gonna want to have bigger, or maybe they want, maybe, and it was actually so, and it actually made a lot of talk about the transgender community because like that's absolutely a thing in the cyberpunk realm is.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good.
Yeah, and they actually like defended it and they said, look, this is just how things are now, so it wouldn't make any sense to not include it in the future because it's just
Yeah.
something that people they whisper behind closed doors about what sexual orientations or the size of their wieners or whatever, but it's a
Wiener.
thing.
I still laugh when
Yeah,
I hear the word wiener.
you know
Wiener.
but it's 100% customizable when you build your character, and apparently it's part of the game. Like they even have soda machines that
Hmm.
like one of the major um, superstars of the era, kind of like the Kim Kardashian, is actually like a transgender woman, and it's like right there in your face, and it's kind of like, well, yeah, if body modification is completely doable, then it's not going to stop someone from, you know, fully expressing who they are in a.
Yeah.
So it's actually pretty cool. I mean, they didn't hold back at all when it came to all those decisions and sort of letting free the like, hey, you can completely customize everything about your character, and it has a
So,
part to play in the story.
so when you customize your wiener, can you like contour the shape of your
I don't know.
of
I
your?
honestly, that's not the sticking point to me playing the game, so I haven't done that much research on it. All I know is that they were talking about it, and they talked about why it was an important aspect of the game because it's part of life now. We just don't talk about it as much, or
Yeah.
we pretend not to talk about it as much.
Wiener.
So, and when you talk about a post-apocalyptic, Earth environment where genetic modifications is like king, right? Makes sense.
Man, I gotta say, I was watching. There's this series on Netflix called Unnatural Selection, where they
Hmm.
get into. It's amazing how far genetic engineering has come. Like with CRISPR,
Oh, I know. They
they
won the Nobel Prize.
well, yeah,
The people.
they have started to like cure these degenerative diseases that were like up until the like 5 years ago even. Those diseases are a death sentence. But the fucked up
Right.
part about it is the companies that come up with these cures charge like $500,000 for an injection of something that would save your life.
Yep.
It's fucked
Yeah.
up.
So
And
the
so
guys
there's
who discovered CRISPR this year actually won the Nobel Prize in
yeah.
medicine.
Yeah, so I like watched a whole documentary on. I always wondered what specifically it was, and I guess it's what is it? A certain bacteria or protein that
Yeah, the protein.
helps basically seek out and find a specific pattern in your DNA so that you're not random. Because before they discovered CRISPR, they would try to repair certain genes, but they would have no way to target it, so that it'd just be like randomly firing.
Yeah,
And
so there's a guy in China who
oh, I
was
know.
arrested.
Yep, for well, that's where some of this is going. Is yeah, because he created 2 genetically engineered like human babies,
Right.
and that's a big no-no. Like if you want to talk about ethical science, that's certainly not it. And but yeah, I guess there's this whole community of what they call biohackers now.
Yep.
And I am very disturbed by that. Like, there are a bunch of like greasy, gross dudes living in their mom's basements who don't even have college degrees, fucking around with CRISPR and sending off supposed cures. Like, the episode we're watching is this guy has HIV, and I mean, it's kind of it's a fucked up situation because people can't afford the medications, because the legit medications that are being developed, those companies are charging so much money that it's basically like, well, how much is your life worth? Are you willing to pay $1 million to live? And I mean, that's so unethical in its own right. But that has spawned this community of biohackers that
And that's literally what Cyberpunk is about.
yeah.
Is they're bio cyborg hackers, where it's like, oh, you got a short arm, or you're too fat, and most of it, and like there's this one superstar lady in Cyberpunk who's like full metal, like her whole skin is nothing but steel.
Ooh.
Like she's just like this robot lady, but she's human. It's just that her physical body is not. Like, it's absolutely fascinating, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that game is probably gonna be as big as they think it's gonna be. So, but hey, I will be right back. Hold that train of thought.
Okay, I'm gonna do some gardening.
I'm gonna go hide somewhere safe. All right, be right back.
Okay. CD Projekt Red. Why do I have a random egg? Fuck you, egg. But anyways, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, you guys. Seriously, anyone who has not played that game needs to go play it. Hands down the best open world game I've played. Unless you count Minecraft. Yeah, I was lucky when I played Breath of the Wild for the first time. I went in pretty much blind. I didn't really know what to expect, didn't know what the story was. And man, that made it a very special experience. Being able to discover all those things for my own the first time. Or for myself the first time. I think one of the coolest moments in that game is the first time you see one of the big dragons that flies around in the sky. Farash, Dinral, and Nadra. And it's just like, what the fuck are those things? What are they doing? Am I gonna fight those? And there's so many pleasant surprises. Just curious, you still out there, CK? I wanted to ask about that that Wii U emulator. I've been hearing some things about that, and I'm curious to talk to somebody who's actually set that up, like what you have to do to get that running. I had seen some videos of like people playing Breath of the Wild through the emulator and like using a high resolution texture pack, and like, oh my god, it made the game look even more incredible.
I smelled something burning, and I was like, "What the hell is burning up here?" I guess they're baking the pumpkin seeds for them because they're carving pumpkins.
Yeah, we didn't quite get to that today. The garage took until like past 7, and I was planning to stream tonight, so we're gonna try to do it tomorrow. Since it's
And
gonna be
apparently,
so cold and snowy, we're gonna watch movies and roast pumpkin seeds and yeah.
get the fire going. Yep.
Yeah. Oh my
Apparently
god. What's
one
that?
of Connie, apparently a couple of Connie's friends passed away this week.
Passed
From
away?
DC. Yeah.
Her friends?
Well, yeah, in DC. One of them was an older gentleman who they found out 2 weeks ago he had terminal cancer, and he died today. And then another lady who she was friends with passed away of breast cancer yesterday.
Oh
15.
god. I was expecting like COVID or something, but
Nope. Cancer, both of them. One was colon cancer, I think, and the other was breast cancer.
jeez.
So she's
Man.
been dealing with that today, so she's
That's
got
rough.
friends over to help her.
That's super rough.
I know, right? It's like, yeah. And Friday's her last day, so after Friday, she's done. So, but yeah, it's been a rough week for her.
Yeah, I bet, man.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, on a lighter subject. So, anyways, we talked about Cyberpunk. Minecraft update. We've not got a chance to dive into that.
Yeah, man, I am over the moon for this next update. For them to basically implement 3D biomes in the overworld and completely overhaul how caves work.
Like, I mean, 3D biomes.
So they introduced the concept of 3D biomes with this last update, the Nether update, where you can actually have two different biomes in the same area but at different Y levels.
Oh, okay. Wow,
Yeah.
really? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, so you'll notice when we go through the Nether, if you go higher up or lower down, like, yeah, you might be in a Crimson Forest, but if you go higher up, you might just be in the Nether Waste.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Fascinating.
Yeah, so that basically paved the way for this caves and cliffs update, where once you're underground, you essentially have an entirely different set of biomes that are independent from the above ground biomes. And you know, yeah, obviously, like, looking at all the footage and seeing all the different types of caves we're gonna get, and like caves that have crystals growing in them, and
I know the stalactites and stalagmites, like those look cool.
and the geode, like being able to find like these rare geodes that
Did you see
can't.
that new the new mob that they're spawning in? Who like
The warden.
one shot the guy in fucking netherite armor.
Yeah,
that
the warden.
responds. Like, what? How terrifying of a fucking character is that?
And that's awesome. I love that. Just that not only are they adding all these biomes, but they're actually adding some kind of a new threat. You know, not just the same old, same old. And just seeing like how, you know, some of these caves are so big that you can literally just fly around underground, and really love the one that's like the overgrowth, where there's like basically trees and vines and stuff that
you have to follow the tree that goes underground.
Yeah.
You have to find like a special tree.
So yeah, and then they're adding copper, and so another new mineral, which I think is a great move.
I loved the look of copper, like how it turns color with age.
Yeah.
To me, that's awesome.
Yep. I really liked that. The warden, yeah, like you said, that one looks awesome. And
he's
then
he's not some guy that you can walk around in netherite armor and just, you know, fucking own, right? Like, this guy will straight fuck your day up if you run across him. Like, I don't know, I think that's cool.
Yeah, and then Rusinka's reminding us axolotls. Yes, those look awesome. The little friendly fish creatures that'll help you underwater, and they'll fuck up guardians and stuff.
And you can get like an army of them.
I don't know. It's really, really cool just how this game just year after year substantially increases in depth and complexity, and it's amazing. Like the game we're playing now is so different than what we started playing back in 2012.
I really, really hope they don't pull an EA where all future content updates or additions you have to pay for.
I don't think they will. I mean, Microsoft's owned Mojang for 6 years now, and they haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they make enough money off merchandise, and now they have all the spin-off games like Minecraft Dungeons, and
I wouldn't put it past them.
no, I wouldn't either. And at a certain point, I don't know, man. I wouldn't be totally opposed to it if I had to pay for the DLC, just because. Yeah, I mean, I paid my $27 8 years ago, and yeah. Okay, I hear you.
Do not give them any ideas.
No, they're not listening to little old me.
Did you see that that Photoshop post that someone did? It's like the new EA controller, and it's a it looked like a Xbox controller, except it said EA on it and it had a slot for your credit card.
Yeah. Well, I was reading something. I do when I'm taking a dump, I do read some video game articles, and I read one that was. Yeah, no, it's not. I was reading one about like NBA 2K21 or whatever, and they patched the game to put unskippable commercials on the loading screens.
And did you see that they were too lazy to write the game description a second time, so they copied and pasted the previous one? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't play sports games, because it seems like those are the ones that are getting fucking bastardized more than any other video game.
Hey man, NBA's got to make their money somehow.
But I mean, I just go back to again, Breath of the Wild. What's up? Fine lagging jet? I do not remember you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I see a little thingy next to your name, so you were obviously here at one point. And yes, I know, Rusink, I know that I'm not using Fortune on this, but that's okay. That's okay with me. The Sims 4 community is so fucking pissed at EA right now. What happened in The Sims 4? God, I played The Sims and The Sims 2, and those games were great. There was no bullshit in those games.
You missed the part where she said EA.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm just curious what EA did to the Sims games. Yeah, that's been the nice thing about just kind of sticking to some of my classic games and playing so much Nintendo is I really haven't had to deal with that in so long. But I'm sure if I was playing some of these more modern games, it'd be more of an issue. Oh, awesome. Well, what do I call? How do I shorten your name? Do I call you Thine? Thine fellow? Or Jet? I'll call you Jet. Jet's an easy one. Well, welcome, Jet. Watch me harvest this wheat. But yeah, what else is coming in the update? So we're getting snowier snow. I don't recall if they have explained what that means yet exactly mechanically. But yeah, the goats, I really like the goats. I love how they jump around, and that's awesome.
They headbutt you.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just all around excited for the next update. Oh, it's a 6-year-old game and there's still less features than Sims 3? I see. They did a Star Wars pack for The Sims? What? Why?
I'm pretty sure it starts with money and ends with money.
Oh, I'm sure too, but that's very baffling to think of Star Wars characters in a Sims fucking game.
Like I said, it starts with money and ends with money.
Well, then let me tell you about Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, right.
Awesome game. Do you ever think you'll go back and play that again? Or play any Switch games again?
Yeah, oh yeah. I've thought about it.
You should. So one of the cool things, and I'm tempted to go through yet another playthrough, because with, was it? I think it was the first DLC pack where they added the Master Trials. Did you play any of the DLC for Breath of the Wild?
No.
Ah, that was pretty good stuff. But one of the things they added was a new mode called Master Mode, where you start a new game and the enemies are all one stage higher right off the bat than they are in the base game. And there's golden Lynels and golden Bokoblins that have like a lot more health, do a lot more damage. I forget some of the other...
Lionel's fucked my day up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've gotten to the point now where I can melt a silver Lynel in less than 30 seconds. Like, he can't even touch me.
Wow.
I just eat some attack up food. I put on all my guardian armor, which gives me an increased damage with any ancient weapons. And then I equip an ancient battle axe plus. I equip a savage Lynel bow that shoots 5 arrows at once. And I literally just fly up in the air with Rivali's Gale, slow down time, and just drill his face with 50 arrows. And then I run up and zap him with lightning with Urbosa's Fury, and then just spin around until he's dead. Like, swing my axe around until he's dead. And less than 30 seconds every time.
Wow.
Such a fun game, man. I don't know. It's had me thinking a lot about what it is about open world games that like piques my interest so much. Like as much as I've fallen off the bandwagon with, I just play so much far fewer video games than I have through most of my life. And getting back into Zelda, it's giving me that feeling again. Like, oh my god, I kind of want to just play video games all day, and if I had time, I probably would. Whereas I think with a lot of games I was playing, I don't know. There were just a bunch of games that I had played that things were just kind of starting to get a little bit boring, and I don't know. I don't know if you've experienced that at all.
Yeah, that's why I have like 6 different games I've been playing on and off. Alright, so I've done quite a bit of work here on the top of the temple.
Oh, I'll come check it out in just a sec. I want to finish this thing here. Oh, and Jet, yeah, followage. Thank you, Rasinka. Oh, Existenese. Okay, I do remember you now. It's more like a Star Wars theme park pack. Yeah, pretty much since the very beginning. I think within my first few weeks of streaming. Yeah, because you guys were trying to help clear some asshole names that people were putting in there. Ugh, that was annoying. Throw these seeds away. Alright, let me just get this beetroot here and the sugarcane, and then I will come up and see the progress. I just figured while you're working on that, I may as well replenish some of our food supplies, because we don't have a whole lot of food at this base anymore.
All good. I had a bunch of quartz I wanted to place, so...
Oh yeah, all that ancient debris mining we've been doing. We got a lot of quartz out of that. So yeah, apparently there's been all kinds of drama on the internet about the Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and people bitching
Why?
and complaining about things. I haven't like fully caught up. Like, I guess some people are really upset that they didn't fully remake them. You know, that they're just basically they're emulating them like you could run on an emulator, which I don't give a fuck, man. Like, those games are great as is. I don't need them to be fully remade. But the one legit complaint, and I don't know why the fuck Nintendo does this shit, is they're making it a limited time release. Once March 31st hits, they are going to stop selling it in stores, and they're going to take it off the virtual store, and you can't get it anymore.
What?
Yeah. Just like they did with the NES Classic and the Super NES Classic, they're basically releasing it as a limited run. And that, to this day, like, it just baffles me that Nintendo would do such a stupid thing. Like, I think it's basically a shitty way, like, you know, speaking of EA doing shitty things, it's Nintendo's shitty way of creating artificial demand for their game. So that people,
with money, and
yeah,
it ends with money.
So that people rush out to stores to get it because it's like, oh my god, this game will disappear and we won't be able to download it or buy it after March 31st.
It sounds like a cash grab.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, if you have any interest in that game, because it does have Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy on it, very, very good games. Get it before the end of March.
Oh, real quick, it is game related, but Origin, did you see their, or not Origin, what was the, Oculus? No, not Oculus. What was the stock I was telling you about that was like, oh, this looks pretty good?
Oh, Unity.
Unity. Did you
Yes.
see the price?
No, I did not.
So their IPO went for $60 a share. It's going for over 100.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I should not have listened to you.
I will never purchase a stock on their IPO.
Yeah.
I think the stat on that is like 85 to 90% of companies immediately after their IPO, they plummet in price.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of those ones that it didn't, but they were also, like you said, pretty far on the hole.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm surprised that people see a lot of value in it, because the research I did, they said that they've never really made a profit. You know, it's kind of like, you know, like Uber is a prime example of a bad company where to this day, Uber is basically, you know, people that are buying shares of Uber are buying shares on the hope that it'll eventually turn a profit and on the promise of this amazing company. Right. And they are such a shitty company. They bleed money. They bleed money year after year. They treat they don't even call them employees. You're a contractor.
Yeah, remember? I worked for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
independent contractors.
I have a coworker, someone I highly respect, who has always advised me, like, you know, if there's one company you stay away from, it's Uber. They are a terrible investment, and like, you just see what they've done, like with their automated vehicles. There was that high profile death that happened in Mesa, Arizona.
Oh yeah, with their automated car. Yeah.
Well, and you know why it happened? It's because they disabled certain critical safety features on their car so that they, you know, just to make it cheaper, and, you know, so they're basically cutting corners. Whereas like Google, you look at what Google's doing with their automated vehicles. I don't think there's been a single issue, but they're taking it very slow and very safely to make sure, you know, when automated cars hit, you want to know that they're safe. You want to know that, like, yeah.
Uber's like, yeah, we can do this too. Watch. Boom.
Yeah. And man, I don't know if you saw that video, but it's like, man, that's really, I mean, that car should have detected that person. So yeah, that was a bad look for them. But anyways. Yeah. I don't know. I like to stick to my very safe, my safe AAA stocks. I'm very happy to see everything that I've purchased through the pandemic. They've all been weathering the storm very nicely. I stayed away from airlines, although I did buy some shares of Delta when they hit rock bottom, because I was just like, you know, of all the airlines, they seem to be the ones that one
Take it
that
seriously.
are more highly respected and run a little more profitably, and stayed away from cruise ship stocks. I've stayed away from hotels.
Yeah.
And,
Well, our diamond pinnacle is coming along.
sweet. Well, I am done in the gardens. Let me run up and check things out. Rosinka, you're salty that there's no Uber Eats. Yeah,
Oh, you guys don't have Uber Eats?
we've always used Postmates.
We've been using DoorDash.
Purdy.
Hey, you like?
Yeah, I like all the pillars. This will be the temple of time.
Yep. I'm probably gonna get some glowstone in the middle of the pillars, so we can get rid of the torches.
Yeah, fuck the
And
torches,
then I'm gonna
man.
fill this up with emerald, and yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say we're almost halfway, maybe almost halfway with the diamond that we need.
Yeah. Hell yeah,
And
man.
then a beacon right here, and that will be the crowning achievement. And then I'm gonna tie some goats up, 4 goats on each corner. Our sacrificial
Yes.
goats.
Oh my god, we should make a giant altar that we that we sacrifice goats on. I'll be Abraham, you be Isaac.
Wait, what? That sounds like a terrible goddamn idea.
Yeah, you're the one that goes on the altar.
Yeah, fuck you.
I'm the one just trying to appease my god. Oh my god. All right, Minecraft. Where do we want to go from here? I'll list a few things. We either go mine more ancient debris so we can keep jacking our pickaxes up.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right. Goodbye.
Real quick. So,
Yes.
Phasmophobia, right? Created by one guy. It's a huge hit on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Scary fucking game, but awesome fucking game. It detects your voice. So when you talk, it actually will register in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually talk to the ghosts. So you can put down like a book, and you can say, "Can you please write in my book?" And the pencil will come up and start writing in the book. You can ask it questions, and it'll respond via a voice box. Like if it's a type of ghost that would respond, you can say, "How old are you?" And the box may do nothing. But with some ghosts, it may be boy, or far away, or whatever. If it's an angry ghost, they'll be like, kill. And all of a sudden the lights will go out,
Yeah.
You can say, can you, are you here? Can you give me a sign? And the lights may flash, the doors might creak open, an alarm might go off, a phone might ring.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's an angry ghost, after 5 minutes, there's a chance that you could piss it off. And if you piss it off, it goes into what's called hunt mode. And whichever room that is the haunted room is where it typically spawns. And the only thing you can really do is hide, because it's coming after whomever. And if you're talking on the microphone, it can actually hear you and will come at you.
Interesting.
It's pretty fucking terrifying. I play that game and I still jump every now and then because you're just standing there. It's you use the voice's name or the ghost's name, and it's Evan Williams or Seth's whatever, or
Yeah.
are you there? And sometimes they'll get angry, and all of a sudden you're one of your ears will hear die. And it's just fucking just make your skin jump. You're like, oh god! It's a great game.
Yeah.
Great fucking game.
That's really cool. Well, here, come downstairs while we're talking. I want to show you something before we head into the Nether. I forgot there was another thing I did that actually, yes, I have a couple surprises for you that I totally forgot I had.
Where are you?
I'm down here. Right here. Don't mind those sounds. That's the jukebox. I redid this room, or I redid the chests in here.
Oh, nice.
I had gone through and gathered a bunch of materials from the new Nether stuff.
Oh, this is kind of like how I have my garage set up.
Ah, sweet. And what's up, Canil Dragon? I guess that's a silent K. The Nil Dragon. Yeah, good morning to you. It's 10:58 my time. So yeah, that's one thing. And then yeah, when we get all the way to the end, there's a little thing I made that I'll show you. Here, let's close this door.
Are we heading out there now? Okay.
Yeah, if you're ready. Do you need a there's an ender chest there, so I don't know if you need anything else or
nope.
You're good. All right, I got it. I know a silent K when I see one. But anyway, the way you were describing that game, Phasmophobia, you said?
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah. So this is something that I had been thinking about for years and years and years, and you know it's going to happen eventually, but I was thinking, how cool would it be? Like, forget even making a game. Like, let's say you develop an engine that completely, like, I don't know, I've had this idea that it would be really cool if you could program an AI and give it a bunch of personality traits, like kind of like you would in a video game, give it a 1 to 10 on what the person's sense of humor would be like, how easy they are to anger, just like all these kind of settings and traits that you could dial in to like personalize like what this AI would be like. And I thought it would be so cool if you could create a human speech recognition engine where you could, whether you type it or speak it or whatever, you could basically have a conversation and it would converse with you consistent with the type of personality that it had, but not in a way that's done today where it's pre-programmed dialogue trees and it only recognizes certain sentences that have been programmed in, but something that could actually like deconstruct a sentence and say like what is your name, and say like, okay, the first word is what, that means they're asking me a question, and then like actually AI. Yeah, use the basic premise of language as we understand it and as we learn it in school and everything, like with subjects and predicates, and be able to actually respond to you. And
did you put more buttons down?
No, we'll need to do more at some point. I'd say this is one of the next tasks. We should go gather a bunch more ice and get the rest of this tunnel completed.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just trying to see what all you did here.
No, this is where we left it. We definitely, I think this should be one of our next tasks, is to get back and finish this, because we're really close.
But yeah, like what you're talking about is like AI though, like full
AI. Right, and I know we're still a ways off. Like AI today, and again, there's this.
Like, you would need to know so many different slang terms and based on like what language it is. I mean, there's even like there's multiple dialects in Italian that like Sicilian, not even the fucking same as Italian, not even the fucking closest to Italian.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a complicated thing, but like, let's say, start with baby steps, and let's just say, get it to work with the English language and with, grammatically correct, sentences, and I mean...
Phasmophobia uses the Windows speech recognition engine, so when you first fire it up, it actually makes you set the language in Windows speech recognition. So that's actually how it picks it up. Yeah. So it actually piggybacks on that. But anyway, sorry, continue.
No, that's cool. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of emerging platforms, and
gold helmet. Shit, it's in my end chest.
Oh yeah, I don't have mine either. Oops. Whoopsies. Yeah, I don't even know where mine is. Did I leave it out here? All right, well, we'll just have to be prepared to fight. These guys are pretty easy to beat with our armor. But anyway, one of my coworkers, the one I was just telling you about earlier, someone I highly respect, he's a PhD. and he is like an expert in artificial intelligence and deep learning and machine learning and all of that. And so like let's say over the last 6 years, I've been working with him really, really closely on adaptive traffic control technology,
Yeah.
like basically using a primitive form of AI to adapt traffic signal timings so that,
Right.
in busy, congested streets, you maximize the amount of vehicles that can get through the light in each
Oh, did you
direction.
ever win that contract?
Not sure yet. They just submitted. They sent an email with a series of questions, which is a good sign. That means they're still considering us. And then they
Right.
said by November 1st, they're going to let us know if we're moving on to the next stage. And the next stage would be a sandbox demo where we have to install our traffic management software in their environment and
Yeah.
and
Well,
basically
fingers
let them
crossed,
use
man.
it.
I've been thinking about you. I was like, oh man, I
Yeah.
need to ask him next time I get on if he won that.
Yeah, dude, that would be the highlight of my career if that happens.
Yeah, that'd be the only
Um,
good thing that's happened out of this dumpster fire of a year.
oh well, no, moving to Colorado was a pretty good one.
Okay,
I don't
well,
know, man.
not dumpster fire for you. And I'm really
Yeah,
glad that you guys are liking it here.
if COVID had not happened, we'd still be in Arizona. So I mean, I can't help but, I mean, it's a terrible, terrible thing, but I can't help but see the silver lining, just given, just
I'm
the
glad you
weird
guys like
chain of
it
events
here.
that led to that. Yeah.
What'd you think of Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
Oh, that was great. That was great. It was, yeah. I guess for those of you that maybe were wondering where I was last week, I went over to Matt's house last week, and super nice, man. It's been. I was trying to remember until I moved up here. The last time we lived in the same city was maybe when we were 24.
Yeah, so over 10 years ago.
Yeah, so yeah, it had been like 10 or 11 years since we had been able to like literally just like drive
Hang
over to
out.
see each other and hang out. And so yeah, since it was Matt's birthday, went over to his house and we just hung out, and it was really
Yeah,
fun, man. Just chatting
surprise.
and talking some light politics in a nice reasonable way, and then watching Tucker and Dale versus Evil and bullshitting and having some drinks and maybe other things too.
Yep. So super. That was a nice surprise. I'm not gonna lie. It was
Yeah.
unexpected.
Yeah, no, I was, yeah, when Connie had reached out, I was like, "Oh, hell yeah. Of course
Yeah,
I'll come
Tucker,
over. What? It's only a 45-minute drive."
we were gonna see The Exorcist, but we actually ended up watching that the next night. And the wife actually really liked it. Like she was like,
Oh,
"That's
wow.
actually probably one of the best horror movies I've ever seen."
Oh,
And it's not
so
really horror; it's like supernatural, like you know, like hauntings. It's
mhm.
not exactly a horror genre. It is, but it isn't. Right?
Yeah.
It's a genre of horror. But she's like everything from like the acting to the sound to like and whenever we watch movies too, you have to put it in context of the era it was made.
Yeah.
And that fucking movie was made in 72.
Oh,
That's
wow.
7 years before fucking the original Star Wars.
Well, I wanted to
So you want to
say,
talk about
well, just real quick, Nil Dragon, a good drop with Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Nil Dragon says, "Good film," and then quoted, "These college kids just started killing themselves all over our property." Yeah, dude, I super enjoyed it. Like, I mean, I would still say Cabin in the Woods was a better movie, but like, it was a fun movie, man. It was awesome. It was funny. It had a good, just a good twist to it. That like,
am I following you?
yes, follow me.
All right. Hold on.
Oh, this is the other secret, by the way. Anyway, go ahead, keep talking while I show you the
Are there
secret.
any holes here I got to watch out for?
I tried to plug the holes. Just follow my
Okay.
path.
Okay.
I made us
All right,
a little base.
Yeah. College kids. Hey, college kids, we got your friend.
Yeah, that was good. It
Oh,
was
dude,
better than I
nice.
expected. So anyway, we have
Oh,
a nice,
wow.
safe little
I
base
like
here.
the ceiling. Holy shit, that makes my eyes bleed.
Oh, are you still running shaders right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I turned mine. I still have mine turned off.
But dude, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Dale or what's his name? The Triduck. Is it? It's not Dale. What's his name? The guy who played in Firefly,
Oh
who's
yeah, yeah.
um,
I don't know his name in real life, but
Tucker. Oh, dude, so funny. Hey, college kids, we got your friend. He's like, well, why don't we just tell them that these college kids just started killing themselves all over our property? And he's like, Dale, that is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Only a moron would believe that. And then he goes and he's like, well, officer, these kids, they just started killing themselves all over our property. It's like, yeah,
yeah,
probably because they're after that one that's knocked out in my bedroom.
yeah.
It's just,
No,
it's
it was
taken from,
good.
like, yeah, like, you don't expect it. You're like, I don't know what this is going to be about, but, looks
Well, and
interesting. You're
given that
like,
I hadn't heard of it, like Cabin in the Woods was like there was a lot of buzz around that, so I think everyone's kind of heard of it to some degree. I had never fucking heard of this movie. So yeah,
oh, good, I'm
going
glad.
in, it's like, well, Matt says it's good, so I'll just have to take his word for it, and it was good. It was a good choice.
Hey, college kids. We constantly use that. We got your
Yeah.
friend. And then he like, oh man, just everything about that was just a classic, just funny, funny, funny. All right, I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah.
head up to our
Yep.
mining thing.
Yep. Let's do it. I just wanted to show you
Sure.
this, and then what I was going to do when we kind of expand and make that more into a proper base. I just figured that'd be a perfect place to do a nether base because it's access to both a nearby crimson forest and a nearby warped forest. And then we need a base in the nethers since we're doing all this mining and
Yeah. Well, good. I'm super glad you enjoyed that movie. I thought it would
yeah.
be one that you kind of enjoyed, and I'm really glad that you hadn't heard of it. So there was and
Yeah,
had
no, that's all. I love pleasant surprises like that. And Nil Dragon says when the one kid charges the one guy and falls into the wood chipper.
he's holding
So
his leg
ridiculous.
and
Yeah.
he's holding his legs up.
It's like, is he okay?
Oh shit! That movie was something else. Are you okay?
Yeah. Oh, anyways, there was a thought I want to go back to from a few minutes ago when we were talking about the adaptive stuff and artificial intelligence, human speech recognition.
Okay.
What I was going to say is my coworker, the guy that I've been doing all this adaptive traffic control technology with, he was kind of explaining to me because he writes all these research papers on artificial intelligence and their capabilities. And you have a lot of people out there, like maybe Elon Musk is one of them, that are these, they've got all these doomsday prophecies about, oh, AI, it's going to be one of the most dangerous things. But if you really look at what AI is today and what it's capable of, it has to be really finely trained. Like it can be incredible for what it's trained for, but an AI can't do anything outside of what it's specifically been trained to do. So like if you
Right.
have this
But that's
AI that
why.
can beat grandmasters at chess or that can like decipher a certain type of thing, you put something else in front of it, like another type of book, and ask it like what the book is about, and it literally it's just completely incapable.
Right. Well, that's kind of the point behind like, if it can learn on its own, that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah. Am I getting kind of choppy? I'm seeing I'm dropping some frames here.
Sounds a little bit, but um. So yeah, I'm super glad you got to come over.